Hi everybody, it's Cassie here, and I'm in San Francisco today with activists who are doing a Squid Game inspired protest. If you haven't seen the Squid Game Netflix show that is being talked about everywhere right now, I definitely encourage you to check it out and to see the parallels that we're highlighting today at our In-N-Out protest. This is a 16-foot tall replica of the character in the show who you'll see in a moment. Let me get in front here. We're just heading to In-N-Out in San Francisco right now, which, like Squid Game, has also been talked about all over because In-N-Out was shut down by the health department recently for not enforcing the vaccine mandate in their restaurant and taking a really strong stance about consumers and letting them decide what to put in their bodies. But on the flip side, not taking the same stance around putting animals into their bodies coming from factory farm conditions that have not been disclosed by the company. So we're asking In-N-Out to first just be transparent and admit to the public that they still supply from Harris Ranch Factory Farm, the largest cow raising operation on the west coast of the United States. And then we're calling on this company, other companies, and the state of California to stop factory farming in our state, to take a stance against it, and to, in the case of the state government, to pass a moratorium prohibiting any more factory farms or slaughterhouses from being constructed or expanded in California. So we're just we're on the block of In-N-Out. We're going to be getting into the street in just a moment. So stay with us, and also please share, because this is a really exciting action today where we're going to be doing things that we've never done before. A lot of design, a lot of costumes, a lot of work have gone into planning this reenactment of Squid Game, where the contestants in this case are cows, and none of them will make it out of the game alive, because that's what happens in In-N-Out's Squid Game. And we're going to be reaching hundreds of people on the streets here in San Francisco, but we can reach even more people if you share the live stream and help us reach thousands or tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people online. So yes, we're just setting up right now. There's a lot going on, you can probably tell, but we're in front of In-N-Out now, and I'm actually going to cross the street to give you a better view of the whole thing from over here. And let me just turn it around. So we're at In-N-Out in San Francisco in the, quote, Fisherman's Wharf area, and we have over 80 activists who are here participating in this action today, wearing costumes that represent either the contestants, the cows in the game over there, or the activists dressed in pink who are representing the system, the Harris Ranch Factory Farm and In-N-Out system that abuses these animals and doesn't let them ever have a chance at life. So I'm going to cross the street again and show you right here. The activists are setting up our giant prop. This is the girl who will be instructing the red light, green light game, just like in Squid Game if you've seen the show. It's on Netflix if you haven't, or you don't even have to have a Netflix account to watch it. You could just go there. Her head just turned around. You can see her now from the front. You could also watch it on YouTube if you just search the red light, green light Squid Game scene. So we're setting up now, and people are about to act out this game, this red light, green light game, with workers representing a system of factory farming and animal agriculture, and activists who are cows all the way down the block there. And this game, if you don't know the childhood game red light, green light, involves the game players running when they get a green light and freezing when they get a red light. And small spoiler alert, but not much, it's the first episode in the game. In Squid Game on Netflix, contestants who are caught moving after they hear red light are killed. And we're going to be reenacting that. It's going to be interesting. We've got, you can hear the musical score, and we've also got some audio that will be a part of the action. And it's awesome to see we have 120 people watching. Thank you so much everybody for watching. If you're just joining us, we're at In-N-Out in San Francisco in the Fisherman's Wharf area, although I hate that name. And there's already a lot of people who are watching us and taking photos and filming us, who are very interested in what's happening. But very soon it's about to get even more interesting, because our actors, our characters who are costumed and performing today, reenacting this Squid Game, are about to be running down the street and dying when they're shot. You know, of course it's pretend, but you can see all the contestants down here who are cows. I'll go closer to them so you can see them in their tracksuits. They all have cow masks on, and they also all have numbers, just like cows do in the industry when they're being kept track of, when they're being turned into objects for profit. But also the contestants in Squid Game are all reduced to numbers. They're all identified as numbers, the number contestant that they are. So really a parallel right there. And I'm going to turn this around so I can show you better. These are our cow contestants getting ready to take off. And if you haven't yet, please share the live stream, because the show is going to be starting very soon and we want as many people watching it as possible. So please hit the share button, and you can like and comment as well. It all really helps. I have to walk a lot to walk back and forth between the groups right now, but that's because the game that they're enacting, the red light, green light game, is running across the street. So while we're just getting started right in front of In-N-Out, I want to remind folks why we're here. DXC investigators have gone to Harris Ranch Factory Farm and gotten hidden camera footage from inside their slaughterhouse showing cows having their throats slit while fully conscious before being stunned, and other horrific realities of what's happening at Harris Ranch Slaughterhouse and Factory Farm. And we've exposed that to the public, and we want to continue to build on that momentum. But something that makes it really hard is that In-N-Out won't admit that they continue to supply their burger meat, their cow flesh, from factory farms like Harris Ranch, which they had previously, it was previously public years ago, but you know, since there's been a lot more bad press for Harris Ranch, workers getting COVID there and the environmental impact and so on, recently they've stopped admitting that they supply from Harris Ranch. And even though they say on their website that they value transparency, when we've had customers ask them in the store and others call on and email them to ask, they refuse to admit if they supply from Harris Ranch still, and they will not admit any of their meat suppliers. They say that they can't disclose that information. So directly contradicting what they say on their website about supply chain transparency. And someone is asking, what city and state are you in? We are in San Francisco, in California, at the In-N-Out that has been making national headlines recently for not following San Francisco's, or not following the vaccine mandate that's in place right now to require vaccination. And that's not directly related to why we're out here protesting them, but it is interesting that they're sticking up for consumers in a way where they feel like consumers have a right to, you know what they're putting in their bodies, and yet they're feeding them the flesh of cows who were tortured and brutally killed, and not letting them know where those cows were raised and the conditions that they were raised in at Harris Ranch. So if they really value defending their consumers and what they put in their bodies, if they really value, informed decision making for their customers, then they should let them know where they supply their burger meat from. So I'm going to turn this around because the music changed and I know things are getting started now. And people are watching, asking what's going on while they're going to have a show here soon. So they're blocking the street and getting into the street here. And passerby are watching and filming already. protest is a reenactment of Squid Game. You know the Squid Game show on Netflix?
Yeah.
But in this case, the contestants are cows, and we're protesting In-N-Out and the supplier that they get their cow flesh from, which is Harris Ranch, the giant feedlot you drive by on Interstate 5 if you've ever driven by.
I'm not from here, but I had no clue this was happening.
So in this game, you know, the contestants are cows, and we're making the point that none of them make it out alive in this game. What do y'all think about that?
I didn't know any of that. I didn't know any of that. That's crazy.
Well, if you want to support our campaign, it's at the website nomorefactoryfarms.com, and you can just sign the petition.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm informed now.
Yeah, I'm glad you're informed. That's what we want. So I'm not sure if you could hear them, but they're saying that they didn't know about any of that, and they're glad they're informed now.
Cows. We own you. We will use your bodies for our own enjoyment and profits, and you have no ability to stop us from doing whatever we want with your lives, bodies, friends, and families. You are here today because your mothers were forced to be pregnant, and we took you away from her. And now, Harris Ranch Factory Farm will take away your lives so that In-N-Out's billionaire owner can increase her fortune that she inherited from her father, who inherited it from his. Before you are executed, we will play a game with you called Red Light, Green Light. When the robot is speaking, you may run towards the freedom line, and you must stop as soon as the robot has finished each line. If you are still moving when you should be stopped, you will be eliminated. You will have 4 chances to reach the freedom line. If you fail, you will be executed and transported inside In-N-Out so we can profit from your bodies. Do you have any questions?
You say you own us. But we are not objects that can be owned. We are individuals. We are friends. We are worthy of the same basic rights as anyone else. And we should not be abused and killed simply because we are different and you possess undue powers to ravage us. You may kill us today, but your days are numbered as well. The public is waking up to the fact that animal exploitation and factory farming are unacceptable. Colonizers eradicated indigenous populations here and colonized humans' food systems. The systems now abuse animals, exploit workers, accelerate the climate crisis, and serve as a breeding ground for the next pandemic. Your billions of dollars will not protect your actions when the people rise up.
You say that you cannot be owned, but capitalism says otherwise. Our guns and money give us power over you, and our connections with corrupt governments will ensure that we can always destroy whoever we want. The game begins now.
This just might be a game where it's fun to watch on TV or it's fun to dress up on Halloween. But for the victims of Harris Ranch and In-N-Out and the factory farms and slaughterhouses all across California, this is not a game and nobody gets out alive. The only animals that ever make it out alive are those that the activists then we face felony charges and go to jail and maybe even prison for decades for rescuing these animals. I am facing up to a decade in prison for helping save the lives of chickens. There are people who are facing decades in prison for saving the lives of pigs and goats. This is what the society has come to. So while this might be a fun game, it is dead serious for these animals and for us too, because animal agriculture and Harris Ranch and In-N-Out is destroying the planet. Satellite imagery shows that the Central Valley of California has the second highest methane gas concentration in the entire nation. That's because of places like Harris Ranch. That's because of places that line the Central Valley, that exploit workers, that exploit animals for profit. Coronavirus is just one disease that comes from our unnatural interactions with other animals. When we go inside the farms in California and we test for disease, we find other coronaviruses and we report them to the media and we report them to the authorities, and they don't do anything about it. And In-N-Out, I think they realize that the public is turning against them because they used to proudly say they supply from Harris Ranch, and now they won't admit it anymore. And the irony is that on their website, they say that supply chain transparency is one of their values. But if you go ask them where their cows come from, they will not tell you. That is not transparent. And the thing is that if it wasn't Harris Ranch, which we're pretty sure it is, it would just be some other place like that. Because we all think in our heads that there's this idyllic place where animals grow and then they suddenly just die when they're old. That does not happen. 99% of animal products come from factory farms. But the good news is that there are people who are rising up to take action. We are demanding that state officials enact a moratorium on the construction of factory farms and slaughterhouses. We want no more of these places until we can work to shut all of them down forever. So please, if you support us, go to nomorefactoryfarms.com, sign your name, and take action, and let In-N-Out know that you want them to admit where their suppliers are. Thank you.
It's not food! It's not food! Killing is no kindness! Their bodies! Their lives! Their freedom! Cows want to live! Cows deserve to be free!
All right, everyone, so if you just watched that performance and you want to see it again, the good news is we're going to do it all again here. So we're setting back up. Cows are going back to that end, and we're going to run through the whole audio and the whole performance again so that more passerby get to see it, so that people who didn't get it on film, who want to get it on film, can capture it and share it with their friends. And for you, helping us get the message out there, if you haven't watched it yet, stick around and you can watch it all happen again. And if you have, stick around too and just keep on sharing, commenting, liking, and helping us reach more people with this action today. A lot of time and design skills and practice and work went into it, but it's all worth it if we can reach more people who will sign and support nomorefactoryfarms.com and ultimately help us put pressure on institutions like In-N-Out and Harris Ranch and the state legislature and Governor Newsom to take action to stop factory farming in our state. Thank you, Linda, for sharing. I see lots of people commenting. Allison also says that they shared watching from the UK. It's awesome that with live streaming we can be with all of you from far away, and that we can have your support and unite this global movement for animals. I'm seeing a comment from Lori that I would love to see the script. I'm sure we can share that with you later. It's definitely something that we want to inspire more people to do if they're interested in doing more creative actions, reenactments, or even very basic protests at In-N-Out. If you're in California or another state where there are In-N-Out locations, please consider protesting them, or at least going into their store and asking them, hey, you say on your website you value transparency. Are you willing to share with me where you get your meat from? And they're probably going to say no, or say they don't have the answer, but you can call their customer service, which we've done, or you can email their corporate headquarters, which we've done. and they will not tell you the answer. They will tell you what they told us, which is that they can't disclose their flesh suppliers, their meat suppliers in quotes, because these animals aren't just meat. They're individuals, they're victims caught in a horrible system, and we need to elevate their voices and speak up for them. And George Villa, an awesome activist in Nevada, just commented with our website, so if you're interested in learning more. Thanks.
One struggle, one fight!
I'm getting a flower, so. Yeah, George just commented, directactioneverywhere.com. If you want to find out more about us, you can sign the petition at nomorefactoryfarms.com. But you can also just go to directactioneverywhere.com, see what we're doing, see if there's a chapter near you, look at the events tab, see what events are going on. Sometimes we have events online, so you could get involved from anywhere if there's not a chapter near you, or you can start a chapter. We're just a platform and a network. We want as many people to take action for animals as possible. And in California, we're working on the No More Factory Farms campaign for a moratorium, statewide moratorium prohibiting the construction or expansion of factory farms and slaughterhouses in California. We want you to sign that petition, but we also want you to work on whatever makes sense in your area. And another great thing, in addition to the live stream getting out there and people sharing and everything here in person today, is that we also have the press here. We have multiple outlets here today, including ABC, who's filming, and that's really awesome that they're able to get footage of this and bring it to even more people. We also have outreachers like Rocky, who are playing the game from the show, from Squid Game, where they throw down the envelopes and you try to flip one over with the other one. So inviting people to play that game and starting conversations with people. And I think we're about to start the presentation performance here again. So you can watch it all go down. Madhu says it's scary, spooky music. I agree with you, Madhu. We're using the music from the show, so we're trying to be accurate to the Squid Game show that inspired this action. Are you doing Instagram? Susie's saying she wants to do stuff like this, or you want to do stuff like this. I don't know your pronouns. Come out to the bay, do some actions with us, or do something where you are.
And you have no ability to stop us from doing whatever we want with your lives, bodies, friends, and families. You are here today because your mothers were forced to be pregnant, and we took you away from her, and now Harris Ranch Factory Farm will take away your lives so that In-N-Out's billionaire owner can increase her fortune that she inherited from her father, who inherited it from his. Before you are executed, we will play a game with you called Red Light, Green Light. When the robot is speaking, you may run towards the freedom line, and you must stop as soon as the robot has finished each line. If you are still moving when you should be stopped, you will be eliminated. You will have 4 chances to reach the freedom line. If you fail, you will be executed and transported inside In-N-Out so we can profit from your bodies. Do you have any questions?
You say you own us, but we are not objects that can be owned. We are individuals. We are friends. We are worthy of the same basic rights as anyone else. And we should not be abused and killed simply because we are different and you possess undue powers to ravage us. You may kill us today, but your days are numbered as well. The public is waking up to the fact that animal exploitation and factory farming are unacceptable. Colonizers eradicated indigenous populations here and colonized humans' food systems. The systems now abuse animals, exploit workers, accelerate the climate crisis, and serve as a breeding ground for the next pandemic. Your billions of dollars will not protect your actions when the people rise up.
You say that you cannot be owned, but capitalism says otherwise. Our guns and money give us power over you, and our connections with corrupt governments will ensure that we can always destroy whoever we want. The game begins now.
These animals are sentient, breathing, living individuals who want to live a life with respect and dignity and freedom and autonomy, the things that we all want for ourselves. And companies like Harris Ranch and In-N-Out take that all away from them. No cows ever make it out alive of these places unless activists go inside and rescue them with their own bare hands. And when we do, we are prosecuted and arrested and charged with felonies and threatened with decades in prison. This system is rigged, it is unjust, and the only way that we can stop it is by rising up and taking action. And that is what we are doing. There is a movement of animal rights activists, of climate justice activists, of racial justice activists who see what is wrong with this system and how it all relates. How the planet is being destroyed, how workers are being exploited, how animals are being killed, how we're brewing the next pandemic, and how a few people at the top are making billions of dollars and everyone else is suffering. That is why we're here today, and that's why we're calling on Gavin Newsom and the state legislature to enact a moratorium on the construction of factory farms and slaughterhouses. We want to shut these places down forever, and we know that's not going to happen tomorrow, but the first thing we can do is not make this problem worse. And it is getting worse, because millions of dollars of our taxpayer money is going to factory farms and slaughterhouses and allowing them to expand. And we say no more of this. We are digging ourselves into a hole, and we need to stop digging and figure out how to get out of it. So if you believe in this message, if you think that animals should be treated with respect, if you think that you'd like a planet to live on, if you think you don't want to go through another pandemic, then you're with us. So please go to nomorefactoryfarms.com, sign your name, call your representative, tell them you want them to do something about animal agriculture, about factory farms, about slaughterhouses, about the horrible exploitation that's happening in this system. And go ask In-N-Out who they supply from, because they won't tell you anymore. It used to be proudly said that it was Harris Ranch, and then they realized that people started to think that was pretty bad. And now, despite their website saying they value supply chain transparency, they will not tell you what factory farms they supply from. So go ask them a question. Maybe they'll give you an answer, and if not, please come join us in our protest. Thank you.
It's not food! It's not food!
It's really awesome to see people clapping for our
Killing
protest.
is no kindness!
Has what?
Their bodies!
Nice.
Their lives!
There's a kid with a Squid Game shirt on who was watching the protest, which is really cool. It's really cool that people are clapping, watching the whole show, and applauding after Almira speak out and enjoying it. So many people are taking photo and video and sharing this with the world and getting the message out there. And again, I know I've been asking a lot, but please share the live stream if you haven't yet. We really need your help to reach even more people. And hopefully you think this is just a genuinely really cool action that is worth watching. So if you do, please share it with your friends and family. Anyone you know who's watched Squid Game, especially if you think they'd get make a connection, if you think they'd get something out of this, if it's meaningful for them, then please help us reach more people with this action. And earlier, Madhu was asking who's the person in the all-black capitalism costume, who actually is just walking by, so I'll show them again. This person, who's the person at the top, the person in charge, or capitalism. Well, I don't actually know that person's name, Madhu. It's kind of interesting. That's someone who just walked in off the street today. When we were doing our briefing a little bit ago, we were practicing at a nearby park. A few different people joined our protest during the briefing. And that person who's in the capitalism suit, they are just a new person who jumped in. So new people are joining the protest off the street. It's really exciting. I can't be louder, so I'll just turn it around and show you other things, but thanks for sharing.
No more repression! No more repression! It's not food! It's not food! Killing is no kindness!
Can I take you? We'll get you in the back.
Their bodies! Their lives! Their freedom! Cows want to live! Cows deserve to be free! Cows deserve love!
Thank you, Farah, for sharing. We really appreciate it when people share the live stream and help us reach even more people. Thank you, Susan, for sharing, and thanks, David, too.
One struggle, one fight. Animals' lives are the right. Animals' lives are the right. Don't buy the human life.
Linda's saying this is an amazing representation of the factory farming industry. Thank you so much, and please bring this to Florida. Well, we can't necessarily bring it to Florida ourselves because most of us are living here in the Bay, but you can bring this idea there. You can create something similar. You can share this video with your friends and family and start a conversation for sure. Thank you so much for sharing and supporting everyone who's commenting and sharing. It makes everything that we do here worth it when we can reach even more people. We already have multiple press outlets here, but sharing with more people on live stream is a huge help too. So thank you so much. And keep watching because we're going to go through this whole reenactment another time here while we have more people walking by and more people who can film and share it with their friends and family.
mention cows. We own you. We will use your bodies for our own enjoyment and profits, and you have no ability to stop us from doing whatever we want with your lives, bodies, friends, and families. You are here today because your mothers were forced to be pregnant, and we took you away from her, and now Harris Ranch Factory Farm will take away your lives so that In-N-Out's billionaire owner can increase her fortune that she inherited from her father, who inherited it from his. Before you are executed, we will play a game with you called Red Light, Green Light. When the robot is speaking, you may run towards the freedom line, and you must stop as soon as the robot has finished each line. If you are still moving when you should be stopped, you will be eliminated. You will have 4 chances to reach the freedom line. If you fail, you will be executed and transported inside In-N-Out so we can profit from your bodies. Do you have any questions?
You say you own us, but we are not objects that can't be owned. We are individuals. We are friends. We are worthy of the same basic rights as anyone else. And we should not be abused and killed simply because we are different and you possess undue powers to ravage us. You may kill us today, but your days are numbered as well. The public is waking up to the fact that animal exploitation and factory farming are unacceptable. Colonizers eradicated indigenous populations here and colonized humans' food systems. The systems now abuse animals, exploit workers, accelerate the climate crisis, and serve as a breeding ground for the next pandemic. Your billions of dollars will not protect your actions when the people rise up.
You say that you cannot be owned, but capitalism says otherwise. Our guns and money give us power over you, and our connections with corrupt governments will ensure that we can always destroy whoever we want. The game begins now.
This just might be a game or a fun show to watch on Netflix. But for the cows at Harris Ranch and the cows that end up inside In-N-Out and every other restaurant in California and across the world, this is not a game. And they never get to make it to the finish line. They never get to make it out alive. But they struggle and they fight and they try to escape. They do not go silently. They do not go peacefully. I know this because I have seen the footage. Investigators with direct action everywhere went inside Harris Ranch Slaughterhouse, one of the largest cow slaughterhouses in California. And we planted hidden cameras and we got to see exactly what happens to these cows. Some of them have their throats slit while they're fully conscious. Others are shot in the head. And every single one of them was someone who wanted to live. Just like our dogs and cats at home, they don't want to die. These cows do not want to die, and neither do fishes or chickens or pigs or any other animal. And In-N-Out, they say that they believe in supply chain transparency. It's one of their values on their website. But if you go to In-N-Out and you say, hey, I know that you used to supply from Harris Ranch, but be outraged, and that's why they don't want you to know. So we're here to put pressure on In-N-Out and tell us, where do you supply from? Because even if it's not Harris Ranch, it's somewhere that looks pretty much exactly like
Okay,
it.
but I'm not gonna.
I know a lot of us want to believe in our heads that somewhere there is this happy farm with a happy slaughterhouse, but I'm here to tell you that that does not exist. Because when you treat someone like a product, when you treat them like a commodity, that is exploitation. When you kill someone and eat their body or sell their body for money, that is exploitation. But the good news is that more and more people are waking up and realizing that we don't need to live this way. There's a better system. We don't need to live in a society where capitalism dominates everything, where workers are exploited, where animals are killed, where our planet is destroyed.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And so if you believe that we can create a better world too, please join us. You can go to nomorefactoryfarms.com, sign your name on the petition, join in action, call your representatives, talk to In-N-Out. Take action before it's too late, because this is not food, it's violence.
It's not food! It's not food! Killing is no kindness! Their bodies! Their lives! Their freedom! Cows want to live! Cows deserve to be free! Cows feel bad! What
Thanks so much.
I'll story up by 8 or 9 o'clock.
Awesome.
So yeah, I'll forward that to you.
Thanks so much, Rich. We appreciate it.
One fight! One struggle, one fight!
So many people taking photos and video. It's really awesome to see.
Animals' lives are the right! Don't buy the human life! Don't buy the big-tree life! Humane slaughter is the life!
Animals do not want to die.
Freedom for all!
Justice for animals.
Freedom for all!
Justice for animals.
Profit's no excuse!
For animal abuse.
Profit's no excuse!
For animal abuse.
They feel pain!
Just like us.
They have friends!
Just like us.
They get scared!
Just like us.
They want to live!
Just like us.
No more repression! No more repression! Slaughterhouses! Factory farms! Slaughterhouses! Factory farms! It's not food! It's not food! Killing is no kindness! Their bodies! Their lives! Their freedom! Cows want to live! Cows feel pain! Cows deserve love! What do we want? When do we want it? Are we going to fight for it? I said, are we going to fight for it? Are we going to get it? One struggle, one fight! One struggle, one fight! Animals' lives are the right! Don't buy the human life! Don't buy the cage-free life! Animals do not want to die! Humane slaughter is the life! Animals do not want to die!
George says, I am not a number. Exactly. None of these animals should be a number. They're all unique individuals, just like us. They have their own personalities. They have their own desires, and they should be able to express them and to live their lives authentically. But we reduce them to numbers in the system of animal agriculture, and it's One of the striking similarities with games like Squid Game on Netflix, where humans are reduced to numbers just because they're desperate for money, just because they're broke and they owe money. They compete in this game that depersonifies them, that objectifies them, that reduces them to people who don't deserve to live.
Attention cows, we own you. We will use your bodies for our own enjoyment and profits, and you have no ability to stop us from doing whatever we want with your lives, bodies, friends, and families. You are here today because your mothers were forced to be pregnant, and we took you away from her. And now, Harris Ranch Factory Farm will take away your lives so that In-N-Out's billionaire owner can increase her fortune that she inherited from her father, who inherited it from his. Before you are executed, we will play a game with you called Red Light, Green Light. When the robot is speaking, you may run towards the freedom line, and you must stop as soon as the robot has finished each line. If you are still moving when you should be stopped, you will be eliminated. You will have 4 chances to reach the freedom line. If you fail, you will be executed and transported inside In-N-Out so we can profit from your bodies. Do you have any questions?
You say you own us, but we are not objects that can be owned. We are individuals. We are friends. We are worthy of the same basic rights as anyone else. And we should not be abused and killed simply because we are different and you possess undue powers to ravage us. You may kill us today, but your days are numbered as well. The public is waking up to the fact that animal exploitation and factory farming are unacceptable. Colonizers eradicated indigenous populations here and colonized humans' food systems. The systems now abuse animals, exploit workers, accelerate the climate crisis, and serve as a breeding grounds for the next pandemic. Your billions of dollars will not protect your actions when the people rise up.
I think it's the best protest I've ever seen.
You say that you cannot be owned, but capitalism says otherwise. Our guns and money give us power over you, and our connections with corrupt governments will ensure that we can always destroy whoever we want. The game begins now.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But it's such a great message. Thank you guys. I don't know.
Thank you, everybody. That was the end of the demonstration. So all the cows and people, except for people that are blocking the streets, please come over this way.
I just wanted to say that we're promoting the No More Factory Farms petition. So you see all their signs saying No More Factory Farms. If you type in nomorefactoryfarms.com, it'll open our petition against factory farms expanding or new ones being constructed in California, which is why we're doing this protest. So is there anything you want to say? Just like...
No, just thank you guys for doing it and making us aware.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So they said thank you for doing this and making us aware, and that it's the best protest that person's ever seen. That's really, I'm sure that Paul and Alex and the whole creative team who designed these visuals are going to be really happy to hear that. Huge shout out to Paul and Alex and everybody who made masks. I made one cow mask, and it took me an embarrassingly long amount of time because I'm not very good with folding paper, apparently. But I just really appreciate all the time that went into this and all of your help making it even more worth it by sharing the live stream, getting it out there. I see Cam saying great action. I see DXC Korea activists on here watching saying that this slaughter is happening everywhere in Korea too. And that's so true. This is a global issue and it affects all of us because we're all affected by what's happening in the animal agriculture industry. It's destroying our planet. It's polluting our water, our air, and it's creating new diseases all the time, new pandemics. We're just wrapping up and getting a group photo out here, but I'll keep it rolling in case people have questions, and also, of course, just to keep asking you to please share. Rach is also saying amazing action, but I wanted to say that, you know, this show, Squid Game, is a Korean show on Netflix, and there have been Korean protests where people are also using the Squid Game theme and getting out there and saying, you know, people are struggling with debt and with poor finances, and we need to protect people. And that's obviously directly relevant to the show because the game contestants are in debt, humans in debt. And today, of course, our game contestants are the cows. So a little bit different, but I'm just really happy that this show is inspiring actions and inspiring people to get out there in real life and demand change, fighting against the top, the 1%, and against capitalism and other just systems of injustice. It's really inspiring to see that. So I hope you all are inspired watching it. I hope you'll continue to take action in your life for animals, for the environment, for whatever causes that you can. This has been a really protest-packed week for me because I went to a protest on the UC Berkeley campus to get them to stop supplying from factory farms in their dining halls on Thursday. And then on Friday, I came to the city, to SF, to a global day of action to defund climate chaos, and we protested the BlackRock financial building in San Francisco because they're the largest funder of climate chaos, investing in tar sands companies and in oil, big oil. And now here today I am here again, and it just really strikes me how connected all these issues are and how much work needs to be done to dismantle the current system and create a fair one. But I think that with nonviolent direct action, creative protests, conversation, everything is how we're going to get there. And Jonathan Brooklyn, who I remember trolling on one of the other live streams, so thanks for coming back, is asking, my question, host lady, do you own a cow or a pig? No, I do not own a cow or a pig, and even if I cared for cows or pigs, I wouldn't say I own them. I don't like that language because I don't think that animals can be owned the way that objects can. They can be cared for, but just like if you have a child, you know, a human child, you wouldn't say you own them. You would say that you're their guardian or their parent, that they're your family. And I do have animals in my family. I have 2 bunnies who I have adopted after rescuing them from being slaughtered, saving them from being slaughtered with direct action everywhere. And I'm really lucky to share my home and my life with them. And I definitely think that having animals in our lives is a huge blessing. I'm gonna go around to the other side here so you can see the head in this photo. So many people taking photos and videos right now. I have to compete today on my live stream because there's so many people in the way. And let's see, Shiloh's commenting nomorefactoryfarms.com. Thank you, Shiloh. Looking for other questions. Jonathan saying, try caring for a cow or a pig. cows are too big for house pets. Well, some of my friends who are here today do have cows and pigs in their families, and of course they need a lot more space than my bunnies need, you are right, but they are experts with cow care and pig care, and they run sanctuaries or micro sanctuaries, and they know what these animals need and what's in their best interest. And I think that's a beautiful thing, to share your life and your backyard and everything with animals. One of my friends, Rupert, who's a pig, actually is a house pig, so he actually gets to go in the house, sleep on the couch and everything. But yeah, just having a connection with animals, with supporting animal sanctuaries like Shiloh is saying, is so important. And it's a really inspiring way to sort of heal when we've seen abuses in factory farms and slaughterhouses so much, to be able to spend time with rescued animals, to care for them, to get to know them as individuals, to not just think about the huge, vast numbers of animals, but to who are suffering in this system, but to actually meet the individuals who have been saved is really inspiring. And all right, Shiloh is just on it, even more stuff. Shiloh is saying to go to dxc.io/events to see the events. Julie, no, I don't have a house pig, but I was talking about Rupert, who you might know, who does get to be in the house. So thanks so much, everyone, for all the engagement, all the questions, and for watching. I know some people were watching a really long time through multiple runs of the game, and I really appreciate that. I definitely really appreciate all the sharing. So thank you so much for sharing and helping us get this message out there. We are gonna get back to our briefing location for a debrief. So before DXC protests, we do briefing for the instructions, and then afterwards we do a debrief where we debrief, we talk about what worked and what didn't work and what we can do better next time. And we're gonna go pretty soon to do that. We've been blocking this street for, I don't know, maybe an hour, a pretty long time. So we're, gonna let cars come back through here soon and head back to our debrief. But I wanna see if anyone has any more questions. I'm just seeing a lot of support right now. And yeah, it's awesome to see people watching from Korea and San Diego and many places in between. Daniel's saying this is real. I'm not sure exactly what part you're asking about. This is a real protest. It's a fake game to the death. No one's really dying. But it's a real protest with a real message. And how do we get in contact with you to help, John is asking. Thanks so much for asking that, John. There's a lot of ways that you can help. If you are located in the Bay Area, we'd love for you to come out to our events and get involved. Or if you're located in another part of the world where we have a DXC chapter, then you can also get involved with the chapter near you, and you can find that information at dxc.io/chapters, or just go to directactioneverywhere.com and navigate around the website there. But if you mean more, can you help online from afar, or if you don't see a chapter near you and you don't want to start your own chapter necessarily, there are sometimes events online, trainings and meetups that are sometimes online that you can get involved with, and you can definitely support on social media. That's definitely, you can do that. So if you want to go to, well, you're already on our Facebook watching this live stream. If you can follow our page on Facebook. This person really wants these flowers in here. I don't know why, but it's all right. Have a good one. I got one already, thank you. But if you can follow us on Facebook where you are, you can also follow us on Instagram, Direct Action Everywhere on Instagram, and you can also follow us on Twitter, which Shiloh does a great job managing. Other folks post on there too, but Shiloh really owns it. On Twitter, our short name is @DXEverywhere. A little bit more confusing. DXE, but the E starts the word everywhere, so it's DX Everywhere. And you can also follow Direct Action Everywhere on YouTube. Yeah, there's a lot of social media channels we're on. We have a SF Bay account on TikTok. Unfortunately, the main Direct Action Everywhere account got deleted off TikTok, perma-banned, as they say, for being controversial, I guess, posting content that they didn't like. But we still have the SF Bay one up. So yeah, we try to be on numerous platforms that you can follow us on. But definitely, if you're already on Facebook and you don't follow us yet, please follow us on Facebook so that you can get notified with future actions when we go live again with more creative things like this one. And yeah, that's my wrap up. But please share the live stream and sign the petition at nomorefactoryfarms.com. And if you have any thoughts, feedback, concerns, questions, suggestions for new ideas, Curtis suggested we do a Squid Game protest, and we made it happen. And if you have a great idea like he did, we want to hear it. So let us know any ideas that you have, and we'll see what we can do. You know, no promises. I'm not saying that we can make anyone's idea come to life, obviously, but it can be really exciting when you do have a good idea and a team of people push it around together and come up with, you know, craft it to make it work and make it campaign aligned, and then it comes to life in front of you. It's really inspiring. So yeah, thanks Madhu, thanks everybody. I'm gonna wrap up now, and I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and like I said, leave any thoughts or suggestions or feedback in the comments. Thanks everyone.